In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get ahead of 99% of players when it comes to the Hunt Mega Edition. I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I've used from previous events that has helped me get a competitive edge in completing the events pretty fast and gaining a lot of badges and completing all the game's challenges. And this time, there is $1 million on the line, so you're going to want every single advantage you can get. So I'm going to share with you guys all the tips that I have, so stay tuned, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. You may be watching this video before the event even starts. You may be watching it as the event's going on. But if you're watching before the event has officially started, you can already get yourself a competitive edge. And that being is playing the games that have already been confirmed, so you get an idea of how the games work, how their movements are. We don't know if there's going to be obbies. We don't know if there's going to be secret areas. It's your chance to get an idea of how the game works, how the mechanics work, where things are located before the event even starts. Now, there's already a confirmed games list. This is the full list of confirmed games. Well, not the full list. There's still 3 more spots. So if you have not played any of these games yet, then I recommend to go in them and make some progress, get an idea of how the game works. Like, for example, a good one would be a Dusty Trip. If you've never played that game before, you're actually probably going to be pretty confused when you first join in because, I mean, putting the card together for the first time to start your journey was actually a challenge because I didn't know where certain parts went. I didn't know how to attach things correctly. Playing the game for the first time allows you to learn the game mechanics so that way you don't have to learn them when the event starts. You already know what to do, you already know how the game works, and it just gives you the competitive edge that you need. Same with Basketball Legends. That game also, I'm assuming, has mechanics that I've never played before because I don't really play sports games on Roblox. Same with, SpongeBob Tower Defense. What if you have to make certain progress inside of that game? You might as well try to get a couple of good towers before the event starts. I'm not saying that's how the challenge is going to be, but you never know. Same with Pet Simulator 99. What if you have to unlock a certain area, but what if you already have progress in the game? Would it give you a competitive advantage? All these things you have to keep in mind. Based off of previous events, there's been some games that if you have already played the game before and had progress in it, it made the challenge a lot easier. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not saying that's how it's going to be this time around because I feel like they're going to be a lot more strict on like the rules and challenges just because there's $1 million on the line. They're trying to make it as fair as possible for everyone. So I'm not saying you need to have progress inside of these games. What I'm saying is join the games, learn the mechanics, learn how the game feels, so that way you're not completely surprised when you join it for the first time for this event. So that's one of my main points I want to put across. Use the confirmed games to your advantage. Moving on to my next point that honestly is probably one of the most important ones. Doing these events solo is pretty difficult. Having a friend, even one friend, a group of friends is even better, but at least having one person helping you out with the challenges really does help out for multiple reasons. Number one, a lot of these games might have multiple players doing the challenge at once. There might be a boss fight that a group of people are doing. We've seen that in the past. We've seen actual 2-player games. And if we look back at the confirmed games list, we have Chained, which is a 2-player obby, which means you're going to be, if you're alone, you're going to be working with a complete stranger. You're not going to have any voice communication with them because, you're randomly getting paired with them. It's going to make it more difficult. But as I mentioned, if you have a friend, you could easily just team up together, do the obby or whatever challenge it is. Also, on top of that, if you're confused or you're trying to find a secret item, we do know there's going to be secret things we're going to need to find. If you have a friend, one person looks one way, one person looks the other way, it's going to make it even faster. If you're doing it alone, you have that disadvantage because you're actually going to be competing against groups of people. The odds are that the people who qualify for the $1 million are most likely going to be in groups all solving this together, or at least with another friend. I'd be very surprised if one person alone can complete this challenge. I think it's been done before, but it is extremely difficult and it does make it a lot harder. So that's just one of my main tips, is either be playing with a friend or a group of friends. Even if it's just one single person that you know of, it gives you that advantage to get ahead of 99% of players. So just keep that in mind when you're doing these game challenges. All right, so this next one is pretty important and one that we've definitely seen in the past as well. All right, so if a game's challenge is way too difficult, like for some reason it's just extremely difficult to the challenges or whatever, it's just taking people a long time. We've seen in the past that some challenges have been nerfed, where they give it a day, and then after the day's over, they undo the challenge, or not undo it, but they nerf it. They make it easier to unlock. We've seen that in multiple games before. But also on top of that, if the challenge is way too easy, there's also a chance that they could make it harder as well. So it definitely could go both ways. And this leads me kind of into my next point, though, is that if you're playing and you come across a very difficult game with difficult challenges and you don't know what to do, like you're completely lost, don't spend time on the game. Move on to the next game and knock out as much as you possibly can. Now, the reason being is because you could spend a bunch of time on the game trying to figure out where to go, what the secret is, the objective, when you could just move on to another game, get that one out of the way, whilst a YouTuber like myself makes a tutorial on how to unlock that certain badge. So that way you could just go back, learn how to do it very quickly, and then move on, and it saves you all of that time. It's just like if you're taking a math test and there's a difficult question, all the other ones are easy. Do the easy ones first. If the question is difficult, move on, skip it, and then come back to it. It saves a lot of time, and it could definitely help progress you faster inside of this event. But after playing all of these events that Roblox has put out over the past year, we have the Hunt First Edition, the Roblox Classic, the Games event. You get the idea. We've played them all. And probably the best piece of advice I could give to you guys is playing for a long time. Now, I know that's pretty obvious, but if you actually want a chance, we don't know how to get the $1 million just yet. We don't know how it's gonna work. We don't know if it's first one to the top of the leaderboard, first one to get all the badges, or if it's first one to find a secret. We really don't know. But if you want to make it to the top of the leaderboards regardless and finish the event in the fastest time possible, you're going to need to play for a long time, straight. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You can see the top players right here. It took this person to get all 100 badges, 17 hours and 47 minutes. This person was 1 minute off of tying them, but you get the idea. You have to be very quick to this. You cannot waste any time at all. And that's why playing with friends will also help you, especially if you're playing all day long. You're trying to complete the event as fast as possible. Having friends to talk to help complete the challenge is going to make that a lot easier. But as I mentioned, if you want to get to the top of the leaderboards, you have to basically play the entire event from start to finish without stopping. I mean, obviously you got to stop and take breaks, but I mean, it's not going to be easy. I just want to say that. It is not going to be easy at all. But that's how it's been in the past with the previous events. You have to grind it out. But all in all, make sure that you guys played the games before the event starts. Get an idea how the games work, where to go, how the mechanics work, how the movement works. You'd never really know what you're dealing with. Second thing, make sure you play with a friend or a group of friends. It's going to make the event 10 times easier when you have somebody helping you out. You could both find the secrets. It's going to help. Playing with someone regardless. One of the best advice I could give you guys. Next thing is don't get stuck on one game. If you don't know what to do, if the challenge is too confusing or too difficult, move on, go to the next game, and simply look up a tutorial on how to do it, because there's going to be videos. And of course, as I just mentioned, you're gonna have to grind this out for a while if you want to place high on the leaderboard. But if you guys have any tips that I did miss out in this video, let me know down below inside the comment section. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all inside of the next one. Peace out and goodbye.